Hey guys, Jacob here. As you guys know, tomorrow is going to be official release for Year 5 Season 2, which is going to introduce the Incursion Paradise Lost. And this video is going to be mostly for people who've never played the Division 1 Incursions, kind of give you guys some kind of idea of what this is going to be, and also give you guys some background on the original Incursions of the Division 1, and why you might want to play this. Also, what are some of the rewards you're going to be getting from this Incursion. To get right into it, Incursions were introduced in the Division 1, if you're not aware. And of course, the original one that came out, which is going to be Falcon's Lost, which, if you remember back in the day, this map or this incursion was absolutely terrible. Not in a bad way either, in a good way. Falcon's Lost had an APC at the back of it that you actually had to run up with your team and throw charges on it and slowly blow up the APC over time to acquire superiority and be able to basically blow it up and get your rewards, which is absolutely awesome. And people eventually found out you could actually hide under the stairwell in the bunker area and actually just run up back and forth, pop greens and blues, which were the ults back then, which give you health and also defensive attributes, and basically made you invulnerable for a few seconds to be able to put the charge, and then hop back down and get yourself some heals. Now, personally, my favorite is going to be Dragon's Nest, which is going to be located more at the top left of the map, which is next to Clear Skies and Stolen Signal, which Dragon's Nest actually was probably one of the coolest because you had four horsemen, which were the cleaners, which kind of reminds me of the new incursion we're getting now due to the fire, which these guys were absolutely beasts when you fought them for the first time, and also had a fire truck that shot flames out of it, and you and your teammates had hit buttons at the same time while being healed to slowly drop a water container on it that would destroy the fire truck. Now, the other twos, I'm not going to go into super detail on those. That's going to be Clear Skies, which is the top of the map, which actually had a crashed APC you had to get to and pretty much take over, which had SHD equipment in it, while getting mortared, which is where Final Measure, which was the grenade disarming gear set, came into play. And of course, Stolen Signal, which was the last one, which is the most pain in the ass one. Because for one, of course, you needed four people for this. Three people, I've heard three people can do this, but four was a must in my opinion because you had to use shields to block miniguns from hitting civilians, aka the JTF, and also stop explosive charges from going off in the building and killing a bunch of people that were locked in there. Now this one was added way later. It was one of the final or the final incursion to be added to the game, and it was an absolute blast. So that's where these originated from, if you were curious. Now as for the new incursion, that's going to be at the Merit Estate, which you guys probably saw some pictures of, and the new trailer for it, which I'm not going to post a trailer on here because there's some music on it, and I'm not sure if that's going to get me flagged or not for copyright. Last time I posted something on that, I had to mute the audio, so it wasn't even really worth posting. So if you guys want to check that out, you can find it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's up there by now, or go check out on some other people's channels or on their official Twitch page. You can find it there. Now, as for the estate, this is really exciting. I cannot wait for this incursion because, of course, it is like a mini raid, and they're going to be taking aspects most likely from some of the other incursions and throwing these in here. They did say this was not going to be a flat DPS check and more of a working together style feel, I guess is what they're talking about, the way I interpreted this. And of course, the enemies are going to be cleaners. We do see this hunter here, which is covered in flames. And at first, I thought this wasn't going to be a threat or a target. I thought it was just more of a concept just to show there was hunters in there. I was wrong. This guy is an enemy that we're going to be fighting, and he has a big ass axe, and he's on fire. So this is going to be really cool to actually fight this. And he kind of reminds me of the Division 1 hunters, of course, in OG Division 1, because all the stuff he's wearing, and of course you can see he's got some kind of fire, looks like protection outfit on, and he's absolutely huge. I'm not sure if that's just concept art or he actually is that big, because from this, he looks like a pretty good sized hunter. Now, the other bosses, of course, are going to be cleaners. We did see these two guys, which I'm pretty sure these are the other two bosses we'll be facing. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more bosses that we're going to be facing in this, which cleaners is pretty cool. I'm happy they did go with cleaners and, of course, hunters as well. And we do know the hunters are going to be taking a bigger role because the final target, the recruiter, is a hunter in the final mission when we get the last target for the manhunt. So I am really excited to see this. And, of course, the reward. The reward is going to be the Abros SMG. I think I butchered that. I can't remember the exact name, but this is the new exotic SMG that you'll be able to acquire in the incursion, which it's only available in the incursion. They did say that there's a 10% chance to get this to drop. There's also, I think, a chest at the end, if I remember correctly, but that's going to be once a week. And of course, you can farm for it. There's still a percentage chance that you can kill the bosses in here and get it. It's just going to be way lower than the 10% chance, of course. When you do this, I think bi-weekly or pretty much every week it will reset. And I'm very excited to see exactly how this is going to be. And of course, some of the stuff they did show as well in the trailer was that there's a tanker truck, it looks like, and I'm guessing we're probably going to have to make it stop leaking whatever kind of fuel is in there. And I'm guessing if you don't, it'll probably blow up. That's probably where the puzzle mechanics are going to hop in and take place. And possibly even more stuff than that. You do see some of the agents hop through some grates and stuff like that and climb up ladders. So maybe there'll be more puzzle mechanics slash working together, and maybe soon your teammates, maybe you might have to go one direction, might have to go another. Because originally in Division 1 Incursions, there was always some kind of mechanic that you actually had to do. Like I said, for Falcon's Lost, you had to put a charge on an APC. Stolen Signal, you had to protect civilians. And of course, Clear Sky, you had to use a battery and put it into a battery pack to stop the mortars on the SAM turret site from basically blowing you up, or I think it was called the Condor, if I remember correctly, was the type of vehicle that crashed. And of course, you have Dragon's Nest, where you had to hit buttons to stop the fire on the fire truck from hitting you, which you still got hit by it, but if you didn't disable the water in time or knock the water down, it pretty much just burned the whole area and your team was wiped, and that was it. But before you did these, you had many pretty much enemies to fight, like Clear Sky, you had to walk through and kill a bunch of enemies. Then you got to the area. Same goes for Stolen Signal, you had a small area to clear. Falcon's Lost, of course, was pretty much just the LMB, and Dragon's Nest, you had to fight the 4 main bosses. So I'm guessing when we get into this new Paradise Lost Incursion, we'll probably have to fight some cleaners, probably a few bosses at the beginning, which are probably going to be the big dudes and the hunter, and then most likely we'll head in further and fight a few more bosses, and then possibly maybe the final boss. And I'm looking at this more as a mini raid, and they did say this is going to be supposedly harder than legendary missions. So legendary missions to me are a walk in the park, so it's nice to actually play something that's going to have some challenging difficulty to it, because once you play legendaries over and over and over again, then it kind of gets a little boring. But overall, that's going to be a quick little refresh on the Incursion, of course, and that's going to be at the Merit Estate, which is really cool, because if you guys play Division 1, you'll know that the Merit is pretty much everywhere. To give you guys a quick little trip, we're going to go all the way over here, which you guys may remember. Give me a second. I think it's right over... Sorry, it's been a long time since I've been here. I remember the exact place where this was at. I believe it was right here. Yeah, at Lexington Event Center. I think it's between it and the other mission. But when you go to Lexington Event Center, you guys may remember this was kind of the Merit area, which you guys can see right here. You can see the Merit Rise collection, which is an exhibit. So it's kind of cool that they went back and we get to see some of the Division 1 stuff. And hopefully the hunters will look more like the ones from the Division 1, because they were absolutely terrifying in survival. But overall, that's just a quick little throwback to Division 1, if you guys remember, and also giving some new players on insight what the Incursions were back in the day. You can, of course, go watch videos. There's some posted out there everywhere, and I don't think I post these back in the day because I was mostly in the Dark Zone. Shame that I didn't, because they were a lot of fun, but if you want to go look those up, I'd highly recommend doing so if you've never played the Incursion. And if you have Division 1 currently installed right now and you've never played them, and you have some friends online, you can go hop in and see how difficult it is and kind of get some kind of comparison what it's going to be like in the new one. But thanks for all the support, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the videos I'll be posting for...
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Stupid ass baby.
I was EMP.
Right.
What
oh,
the?
Fuck. Holy shit, I see that. We're flying, dude. Oh no.
I hate you so much, Joe! You bitch! I feel the G5 gum.